If you bring your blush up under the under eye ever so subtly, you will blend the demarcation of your under eye hollow and your cheek. That's the goal of today's video. It's also a new trend. Hello, today I'm going to share with you how to rock the under eye blush trend. We're going to go step by step through this new trend. I'm going to show you how to apply it. I'm going to show you which color to choose for your best skin tone or skin undertone. And we're going to learn how to rock the under eye blush trend like the celebrities. Now, I have a confession to make. I do not follow celebrities. I don't even really watch much TV. So the three celebrities in the article that I read about this under eye blush trend, I only know one out of the three. I think I've heard of Zendaya, and she is the first one that they point out is using this trend in her own special way. She's wearing a soft pink blush under her eyes to complement a brown smoky eye. So if you love a brown smoky eye, try a soft pink blush color for this trend. Apparently, Zendaya also likes to rock orange eyeshadow, and she uses this blush trend using a coral blush in the under eye area to match the orange eyeshadow. Now, the second celebrity I do know, Rihanna, she is using cool berry toned blush in the under eye area to contrast and complement her green eyes, which makes perfect sense if you think of color theory. She also has a beautiful gold tone to her skin, so she's using a peachy blush in the under eye area to enhance her golden glow. The third celebrity is Yara. She is a minimalist makeup girl, apparently, and I am very interested in looking at her style and seeing how we might be able to apply it to our mature skin. So let's see what colors she's using. Yara has been using this in a more subtle way, applying just a small amount of rosy blush in the under eye area to warm up her face and give a very soft, romantic look. I'm going to show you step by step on how to apply this under eye blush trend for our mature under eyes to help conceal discoloration and also give our face a bit of dimension. And the idea is to conceal the demarcation that you get between the cheek and the under eye area, as well as help with some color correction. So you want to choose your blush wisely. If you're using pinks and corals, that's going to kind of counteract blue undertones. If you have warmer undertones, you might want to pick one of the cooler blush colors to contrast. So it's just really up to you. You're going to have to play around with it a little bit. The first step for this technique is to apply your foundation and your concealer as normal. I use the KOH GEN Do Aqua Foundation. I think it's going to go really well with this technique. I also used my Hourglass concealer. They also recommend that you powder down. Foundation and concealer applied and powdered down per the instructions. I'm going to try all three blush colors that I picked out today. I'm going to pick my favorite, and then I'll do my brows, my mascara, and my shadow for a final look. For this trend, you're going to choose a blush that goes well with your skin tone and skin undertone. They recommend that for warm undertones, you go for a blush that has some orange, yellow, and red tones, such as coral, cinnamon, or brick. For cool undertones, they recommend you go for a blush that has blue, purple, pink tones, such as plum, berry, and rose. I actually have a neutral undertone, so I've picked a little bit of everything. I have a rose-toned blush from RMS Beauty, some pink coral blush. This is my Hints blush. And for my berry colored blush, I picked Tower 28's The Beach Please in Party Hour. So we're going to try all three blushes, see how it goes, and we're going to follow the instructions exactly. I'm going to start with RMS Beauty's Hydra Blush. Now, I was accused of being blush blind the last time I used this, so fingers crossed I don't mess that up again. In my Aqua video, I have so many comments saying I have no clue how to apply blush. So that could be true. So maybe this technique is going to help me learn to apply blush better, and we're going to see if it works on my mature 58-year-old skin. They say to use a fluffy brush to apply the blush to the apple of your cheek, sweep it up and out toward your temple. I know there's so many debates about where to apply the blush, how to sweep it out, but today we're just going to follow these instructions and see how we go. I'm going to start with our Miss Beauty, tap this in, apply it to the apple of my cheek without smiling because that tends to drop my blush. Oh, I didn't pick up much. Now last time, I guess I'm really hesitant because last time I used so much of this that you guys were not impressed. All right. And they say to just build the color to your desired intensity. Now, this is a fairly bright blush with a lot of pigment, so a little goes a long way. And I'm just doing to the apple of my cheek, even though my apple has fallen, but it's there somewhere, and sweeping up. The next step is to use the same brush, apply the blush to the inner corner of your under eye area, and blend it outwards, blending the blush that you put on the apple of your cheek into the blush in your under eye area. So let's try it. What do you think? No blush, blush. So blush done under the eye, no blush. Let's do the other side. Now I think I've applied too much to the inner corner of my nose, so I'm going to dab that off. I may have to put a little concealer over that. My brush might be a little bit too wide. I'm going to repair this by adding a little bit of concealer and tapping it in with my beauty blender that has a little bit of the foundation. Okay, so that's repaired. I think I was a little nervous to use too much of this blush because I definitely went overboard in the past. So I'm going to do a little bit more blush in the temple area where I think I didn't quite get enough, just so both sides match. And this side needs a bit of blending. We don't want any harsh lines. Here's the final look. What do you think? I'm going to do a quick reset, take this blush off, reapply a bit of foundation, concealer, and my powder, and then we'll start in with the next color. I've cleaned my brush. Now I'm coming in with a berry tone. Now, Rihanna has been using the under eye blush trend technique in berry tones to contrast with her green eyes. So if you have green eyes, try a berry tone for a beautiful contrast look. All right, I'm just going to tap this in, apply again to the apple of my cheek, sweeping up. If you haven't tried the Tower 28 cream blushes, I love them for mature skin because they're soft and creamy and they just don't settle in lines at all. I have it applied to each of the apples of my cheek. Now I'm going to come in the inner corner and again sweep up. This is the final look with the berry toned blush. Now the idea is to conceal the demarcation that you get between the cheek and the under eye area, as well as help with some color correction. So you want to choose your blush wisely. If you're using pinks and corals, that's going to kind of counteract blue undertones. And I like this. Gives me a very seamless look. Like I honestly can't tell the difference in where my cheek starts and my under eye begins. That sort of hollowing that I get is just slightly camouflaged. I'm liking this one a little bit better so far. Again, starting with a clean slate, I'm going to take this blush off, reapply my foundation and my concealer, and then we're going to come in with, I thought I would do this highlighted coral color, but I think I'm going to switch over to the Charlotte Tilbury. This is her blush wand, and this is a little bit deeper coral color, and I think it's going to blend into the under eye area on my skin tone a little bit better than this more highlighted blush, counteracting some of the purpleness that I have in my under eye area, as well as some of the darkness that I have in the demarcation between my cheek and my under eye hollow. Let me get this off really quickly and reset my foundation. Brush clean, ready to apply the coral blush. Now this comes out really quickly. I'm not a fan of how that blush dispenses, so I always put it on the back of my hand. Always get too much. All right, so we're gonna apply this to the apple, blending up. As you can see, this blush is really pigmented and a little goes a long way. All right, that looks pretty even. So let's apply it to the inner corner of my under eye area and sweep out. I actually love the result of this coral. The demarcation is fairly noticeable. All right, I'm going to blend this out a little bit and then continue on with the rest of my makeup. Let me know if you're going to try the under eye blush trend. As I shared with you earlier in the spring, you're going to take your blush. I love a cream blush, and this is going to look crazy at first, but you're going to bring your blush a little bit higher than you typically would. And it's just going to seamlessly disguise that recessed area and make it blend in with your cheek. I think it is a brilliant way to help color correct the mature under eye with little to no effort using a color correction palette. Just a little blush in the under eye helps with that demarcation, helps with the discoloration in the under eye area. Now, the kids are also using this as eyeshadow or under eyeshadow, putting kind of a dark spot of blush in the corner and then really a heavy line of blush in the under eye. Now, I don't think that part of this particular trend will look that great on mature eyes, but if you want to go for it, go for it. I say there's no rules with makeup. You do you. Thanks very much for watching and wishing you all a fantastic day.